getting rich, being successful. Yes, we all see the people on the Instagram and their nice fancy cars. Yeah, but you don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I'll admit it. I have a few nice cars. And I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, yeah, I have a few nice cars, but you don't know how difficult my life is. But when you see people on Instagram and working out and stuff, you have no idea the difficult things they're going through. It looks like their life is just flawless, and yours sucks. You really don't. It could be financed. It could be mommy and daddy. And even if it is mommy and daddy, don't hate them. Don't hate them for they didn't even earn their money. Yeah, cool. Maybe they didn't earn their money. What we're focusing on today is us. How can we get successful? And it's mindset. I'm serious. If you use your mind as a magnet, you're not going to be magnetized to money if you're in a bad mood. If you're just like that stupid person, has mommy and daddy's money trust fund baby. They married rich, won the lottery, they didn't even earn it. That, what do they say? Tearing down somebody's house will not build you one of your own. So what we're doing today, and we're going to hopefully do for the rest of the video, is positive things, because we want to look forward into getting rich. We want to look forward into becoming successful. And I don't mean rich with money, rich with family. Before I had money, I used to think, oh, money is the end all, but really it's not. Having a loving family that's, man, if I could tell that to somebody right now who's paycheck to paycheck, but they have a loving family, they're probably thinking to myself, hey, at least you're not paycheck to paycheck. You have a house, you have food, warmth, you have entertainment. A loving family is oh my gosh. If you got knocked up at 17 years old, your parents are mad at you because you had a kid too young. You've already got half the battle. Now all you have to do is get to work, okay? Support your kids, keep your kids going, get to work, stay positive. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of this video, this video could be 15 minutes long. What I want you to take away is that no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to get anything done if you aren't positive. It's all woo-woo, you gotta stay positive. Yeah, absolutely. Kick ass. Get that money. Get the training. What do you want to do? You want to fly planes? Be positive. Think to yourself, what do I need to do to get on my trainer's radar, to get more training under my belt? Do I get my flight simulator? All this stuff is really difficult, but don't look at it as difficult. This is life training. I am curious too if anyone has ever become successful and just been miserable, but I couldn't see two more toxic things happening simultaneously, is somebody getting a lot of money while just being miserable. Oh God, there's no hell. What was it? There was a poll on Facebook, and they said, what would you rather do? Would you rather have $100 million and never play video games again, or would you rather get paid $100 an hour to play video games? Now, for me, that's simple. $100 million and never play video games again. Oh my God, I wouldn't even look at my phone. Electronics, I just cut that out. Oh my God, just stare at campfires all day long and have a great life. But some guys in the comments were talking about, oh no, I could make so much money if I worked 8 hours a day playing video games, and that's what they wanted to do. I don't get me wrong, I like to play video games. I play Call of Duty with my wife, absolutely, but I could give it up. It's fun, she has a few games in her because her she's older. Her hands begin to hurt. Yeah, that's right. Make fun of us kids. We don't care. She has about 5 to 6 games in her, and then she's like, I'm done. My hands, they hurt. But it's so much fun playing with my wife. We talk so much shit to each other. But the story I'm trying to say is, I cannot believe how sick people are that they would want to play video games for 8 hours a day, getting paid $100 an hour, versus $100 million. No, it blows my mind. That's where I was going with this. Is being toxic and making money at the same time. Let's say you found yourself in a position where you were making $100 an hour playing video games, right? Oh, I tell you what, if you were a normal person, you would hate your life. Absolutely hate your life. You don't think I know what I'm talking about? Try monetizing your hobby. And not only that, become successful at your hobby, and then come to realize your hobby has a little more than meets the eye. My wife did that with tennis. I've done that with motorcycle racing. Boxing. I remember late in life, I decided I had a little extra time at 35 years old. I said, you know what, I'm already running out of time. I'm going to start boxing at 35. And I came home with a bad concussion, and my wife said, I think you're done. And I could have doubled down on the boxing and, been successful, but I would have had brain damage. I absolutely would have. And I could have been successful at boxing, but and as I'm even racing motorcycles now, I see the writing on the wall and how dangerous this is becoming. And I could become more successful at racing motorcycles, but at what cost? Everything has a cost. If I could become really successful at playing video games, making $100 an hour, I'm trying to think. If there's somebody who, like Scrooge McDuck, somebody has an oil company and just hates their life, but they make a bunch of money. Oh, I was successful at something when I was in Southern California at something, and everything was just miserable. And I was very successful, and I thought to myself, this couldn't be any further away from hell. I was very successful at what it was I was trying to do, but I was miserable. And the harder I hit that thing that made me successful, the more successful I became, and the more toxic it was, and it was just pure hell. My God, I'd rather make less money. I don't know. When you're young, your parents want the best for you. They want you to survive. In my case, I was just an idiot, and my dad was like, "Oh my God, learn some kind of occupation. Just don't be an idiot." And I did. If I could go back, I don't know what I'd learn. I don't know what would actually bring me happiness. So I'm racing motorcycles, and there's a boy that goes out there, a photographer. His mom's a photographer. She's teaching him how to be a photographer, and he records motorcycles and cars. And I even said to him as he was recording my stuff, I said, the reason you're recording this stuff is because just like if you hang out at the barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut. If you hang out with these cars long enough, eventually you will have an opportunity to own one, drive one, or just be sponsored by a race car company, get paid for being around race cars. Absolutely. I said, well, what are you going to university for? He's going to university to be a civil engineer. And I'm like, oh, that is not race cars. But this kid has a surefire, I don't want to say surefire, but more sure, you're not going to make money with race cars, but you have a better chance of a sure deal making money with civil engineering. But this kid is working double hard. He's working hard at his actual occupation to make money, and then he's gaining the knowledge to take pictures, photography and videos of race cars and motorcycles. Who knows where it'll take him. He has a positive attitude, and he has a lot of things to be not so positive about, especially because he doesn't make a lot of money with the pictures. In fact, he gives a few of those pictures away for free. But what that boy hasn't realized is that he has already impressed a bunch of top dogs he's impressed a bunch of top dogs because a few of those top dogs have had pictures taken of them and then been offered a price, and they've been potentially ripped off. And then we all had a conversation. We're like, hey, you remember that young boy? And we're like, yeah, the boy that gave stuff away for free. Yeah, maybe we should start paying him, because I can't believe how his work ethic. And people are beginning to notice, and he's juggling civil engineer and photography. But having a good attitude is key. Having a good attitude is key for your happiness. Oh, earlier on in the video I was talking about getting rich. If you watch these videos on YouTube where they interview billionaires, the billionaires will talk about how they became rich, and if you're smart enough, you can try to emulate what they did, even though they made their billions in another era. So that's just another issue for another time. But what they'll eventually start talking about is their lives and how they're upset or how they're lonely, or if you look deep into, like, a lot of guys put on a persona. There was this old billionaire the other day, and he was talking about how his son died and his wife died, and sadness. He now no longer needs to put on a show to prove to you he's happy. But all the guy ever wanted to have with his billions of dollars is happiness. That's all I want. Oh my God. I don't even want the cars. I don't even want I remember when my dog died, I would have traded my car for my dog. My expensive car, I would have traded. Absolutely, 100%. Without hesitation, I would have traded that car for my dog. That dog brought me so much happiness. Now, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you're a teenager, you're in your 20s, you're in your 30s. There's a few tricks that I use to, like, you ever taken a test, and it's funny how clean your room becomes when you're taking a test. It's the same. It's the same. Even nowadays, things become so organized before a big motorcycle race I have going on, because I'm not focused about the race. I should be, and then I forget this, and I forget the timer, or the GoPro, or the part, or whatever, fasteners. Yeah, if you need to be more motivated in that regard, then yeah, maybe I'll make a video about not forgetting your parts. But mind fucking yourself into doing into actually, like, being organized and getting stuff done. That's not this video. This video is having a good attitude, and not a good attitude for other people, but a good attitude for yourself. Showing up to a situation happy, showing up to a situation willing to learn when it goes south. So yeah, at the end of the day, I hope you take advantage of being happy, because it is essential to your success.